Is anyone here for the first time? Oh, nice. Nice. Thank you. Good to see you all. Okay. We have a children's area in the back also, so if the children are making noise, you're welcome to take them there. You can still hear everything. And we have a games room the kids can play. So if you need to move the kids in, you can move them there as well. So this is Hare Krishna Valley. It's a spiritual sanctuary. It's a place where we practice spirituality. We try to set an example for the world of how to live a more meaningful existence. If you look at our sign as you drive in, the front sign, we have a motto under Hare Krishna Valley. Does anyone remember what it says? If you remember, you get a free plate of dessert. Yes, sir?
It says wisdom, compassion.
Oh, that's coming down the drive. Yeah, there's all the different. Yeah, if you get all of them, we give you a free meal. That's good. But
leave your ego there in the chest.
Yeah, that's the second sign. That's very good. That's it. So you get a free drink today.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. No, the first sign up the very front. It says Hare Krishna Valley, the big sign, and then it says natural living, high thinking. Yeah. So that's our motto here. Natural living. Live naturally. Try to live at harmony with the earth. These days people have lost contact with the earth. According to the Vedic teachings of India, the earth is one of the 7 mothers. Our natural mother, the wet nurse, the wife of the king, the wife of the brahmana, the wife of the guru, the cow and the earth. These are the 7 mothers. So we see in the modern society people have lost contact with the earth, which is our mother. Everything that we subsist upon comes from the earth. Without the earth we can't eat. We don't eat, then we dry up very quickly. So it is necessary. The earth is our mother. We're dependent. And also the cow. Hare Krishna Valley is famous for cows. On the front sign you see there's a picture of Krishna with one of the cows. And you see in the pictures, the one up there, Krishna's with cows. The cow is one of the mothers. Our mother gives us breast milk. We live on milk only when we're born. First 6 months or so, only milk. The most nourishing, most powerful food, according to the Ayurveda, is milk. And it completely sustains us. And then when our mother will no longer breastfeed us, my mother told me no, about 2 or 3 years ago. She said, that's enough. Said, you're 45 now, you can't have any breast milk. So I had to stop taking breast milk. So now I have to go to the cow. The cow to give us milk. Of course, here at Hare Krishna Valley it's unique because it's one of the only places in Australia and even in the world where the cows are protected. And it's an ahimsa dairy. Ahimsa means without violence. It's a place where the cows can be born and they can die without fear. And that should be like that everywhere in the world. All the living entities should be able to live without fear. The human beings, we don't like being in fear. Just like right now, in many places in the world people are living in fear. Syria, for example. People, they're living in fear. I saw something on the internet the other day. One child pleading to the rest of the world, please help us. People living in fear, just on a day-to-day level. In Australia we may not experience that so much because this country is, at this point in history, it's quite comfortable to live in. That will change in due course of time. But it's comfortable at the moment. But in many places people, and right now in Australia, we can't say that all of the citizens are living without fear. The humans maybe, but not the animals. They have to live fearfully. Just like next door to our farm, we have a beef farmer, and he kills all of these animals, just breeds them just to slaughter. So they're all living in fear. I was telling everyone yesterday, the people that came yesterday, he had to build a new fence because all his cows kept coming over to our side. And even now, they still stand near the fence every day and they look at our cows. Right? And in their language, they must say to them, please break the fence. They'll cut the fence. So it's a place that says, the Hare Krishna Valley is a spiritual sanctuary. Somewhere you can come, You can be spiritually enlightened, you can be uplifted, you can get knowledge of higher concepts, higher truths, higher principles, and simultaneously you can learn to live naturally, depend on the earth. Right? As much as possible we produce our own food. Right? And then we milk the cows and take the milk from the cows. And as much as possible, just live naturally here. Uncomplicated life. Our motto is simple living, high thinking. The modern society, their motto is high living, simple thinking. Right? Don't think too much about things, because that will complicate your life. Don't think what the ramifications of your actions are, but live as extravagantly as you can. As the leader of the modern world at this point in time, our president of the USA, what was his name again?
Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, Donald Trump. So, as Donald Trump said, one of his quotes is, "He who dies with the most toys wins." That's one of his mottos. Just to have as many Matchbox cars as you can at the end. And then when you die, at your funeral, they can say, "He had 25 Matchbox cars." So that's the kind of leadership we have at this point in time. So at Hare Krishna Valley, we have something opposite. All right? You can have one Matchbox car. That's your quota. Everyone should have one car. Which country on the earth has the most cars? China. Italy. Oh, very good. Smart kid. Yeah, Italy. It's actually Italy. Yeah. 2.1 or 2.3 cars per person. I don't know how that works, but it's 2.1 or 2.3 cars per person. Like that. You have to have a Maserati, a Ferrari, and a third of something else. Like that.
Alfa Romeo.
What's that?
Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo. Just the front third. Very good. This kid's smart, man. So this is the mentality these days. Get as much as we can, accumulate as much as we can, and you'll be happy. And when you're dead and your corpse is there, you can say, "I had 2.3 cars," and they'll make a speech at the end and they'll say, "He had so many things," which means absolutely nothing, because your soul is no longer there. You can't enjoy it. If your soul's not in your body, you have no ability to enjoy it. You've gone somewhere else. So this is the foolishness of the modern world. So here our motto is to teach a different way of life. Live simply, think about higher things, cultivate spiritual knowledge. So, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? We usually take some questions, so if anyone has any questions you'd like to ask about the meaning of life, the universe, everything, or anything else, then we can try to answer your question. Yes, sir?
Why do you try to lead a simple life, and then for earning your bread you still have to go into society, and society is not exactly the way one like, for example, simple living, and therefore there are conflicts. For example, ahimsa, even shouting at somebody, or is a kind of ahimsa, or especially in the corporate world you have, "Oh, that man is no good, replace him, get someone else." So these are the conflicts that you go through. So how do you live? And
What is the question?
the question is, how do you live with the conflicts in the other world?
In the outside world?
Yeah.
How do we live with conflicts? I mean, there's different ways to answer it, different ways to deal with it. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gītā, "Matra spāshas tu kunteya, shitoshna sukadukada, agama payino nichas, tam titikshashva bharata." Titiksha. The word titiksha means tolerance. So Krishna says that in this world, everything comes and goes. Sukha dukkha, and Krishna says. Sukha means happiness, dukkha means distress. What do you know? If you're happy in this world, what do you know? Yes, sir?
Joy.
Yeah, joy. But okay, but we'll take it a step further. What do you know? If you're happy, what do you know?
I think everything goes right for you if you're happy.
Yeah, everything goes
Everything
right.
goes right for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Peace.
What's that?
Peace.
Peace, yeah, that's it. If you're happy in this world, what is certain is you will experience distress very shortly. Okay? It will end. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to last. Okay? So if you're happy in this world, that won't last. And if you're distressed or in anxiety, what do you know?
It won't last either.
That's not going to last either. No? You're going to be happy again soon. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gītā, just like summer and shitoshna, shita ushna, summer and winter. What do you know? If winter comes, what do you know? Summer's coming. Right? If summer comes, what do you know? Winter is coming. Hare Baba. It is coming. You can't do anything about it. You can say no winter this year, only summer. That you can't control that. That will come anyway. So happiness and distress, they will come and go of their own accords. You can't control that. So Krishna says, Titiksha, Arjuna, tolerate it. Because it will come. Tolerate happiness. Don't get carried away by happiness, because that will end. But similarly, don't get carried away by distress, because that will end also. So you have to be a little tolerant. So that's one way. If there's conflict in this world, and people are... You can stay if you want. Oh, you want to go? Okay, yeah. Just if you go around the back, you can still, if you want. Well, there's a trampoline outside if you want to play. Trampoline. There's a dog out to the right. And there's...
Swings.
Sorry, swing. Yeah, swings over there.
Then on the swing.
Yeah. So, there's different ways. But if someone's causing you difficulty in your workplace, for example, then you can tolerate it. That's one thing to do. One thing that happens in the world that I notice, and one thing I try not to do, is be so reactive. Because everyone reacts. As soon as someone says something to you, what's the first thing you do? React. Oh. What do you mean? Huh? You're saying that about me? What about you? That's the first thing we say. Oh, what about you? As we were discussing yesterday, that is the mode of passion. That is called Rajagun. Rajagun means as soon as someone criticizes you, you'll immediately criticize back. Oh, but what about you? Huh? Sattva-gun, or goodness, means that when someone criticizes, we always look within, because there must be a grain of truth in everything, practically everything. So if someone criticizes it, we look at it and say, yeah, there's some truth in that. It's okay. And it's very powerful to say nothing. That's very powerful. That disarms people very quickly. So if you can learn to do that, that's good. So at your job, when they say you're fired, you just look at them and you say, what the hell are you talking about? But disarm them first of all, like that. So anyway, that's some advice we can give. There's many ways we can answer it. Is it okay?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
I have a very basic question.
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of life?
That's a basic question. Okay. Here we go. The purpose of life in 7 minutes. Is it possible? Yes. What is the purpose of life? First of all, if you want to understand the purpose of life, first you have to understand who are you. So who are you? That's my question first. Who are you?
You see, as for different beliefs and different religions.
Don't worry about that. I'm asking you. Who are you?
You see, I am a part of God.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So if we define it, right, according to the Vedas, aham brahmasmi. I am
Soul.
spirit. Yeah, soul. That's correct. So okay, now you understand who you are. You have to understand from the right premise. If you don't have the basics together, then you cannot build on your foundation. The foundation must be correct. So I am soul. Okay. So now that we know who we are, now we can ask, what is my purpose? What do I do? So what is the occupation of the soul, or the duty of the soul? All of us are soul. All of us are spirit by nature. So what is our occupation? What are we here for? Love, very good. Yeah. And how is that expressed?
By serving the mankind, humankind.
Yeah, very good. By that one word, what's the one word which encapsulates why we're here?
Serve.
Very good. Seva, service. Yeah. The only purpose for existence is to serve. That's why we exist. We're serving all day, all the time. That's all we do. You serve your children. The children serve your parents. Right? At least in Disney movies, they serve their parents. And we all serve each other. It's part of life. We're meant to serve and we're meant to look after each other. And that's what we do all the time. You work. Work is service. Everything that we do in your employment is to serve. Right? So we're created only to serve. That's our purpose. Now, the purpose of service, or the most complete service, or the ideal service, is service to the origin of everything, the supreme entity. Right? So in our teaching, in our philosophy, we say Krishna. Like that. He's the bluish cowherd boy who's on most of the pictures in the room. So by serving Krishna, that is our purpose, and that's where we'll find our deepest happiness on the level of the soul. At this point in time, we're establishing relationships in this material world with material forms, and it's all based upon what we can receive more than what we can give. And if we're always concerned about what we receive rather than what we give, we'll never be happy. People who are selfless and give, as opposed to receiving, they're more happy, they're more satisfied. And the ultimate satisfaction is when we serve unconditionally, without motivation, without interruption, the Supreme Entity, Krishna. So that is according to the Bhagavad-gītā, according to the Vedas, the ancient teachings of India, that's the purpose of why we exist. So
One question on...
I think that was about 4 minutes. That's the purpose of life in 4 minutes. That's okay. Do you want to clarify anything, or is it okay?
No.
It's okay?
That's okay, but then again, I think we cannot finish it off in about 4, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. For different people, serving is different way. As you say, every stage we are serving. You see, a father is serving his son and the son is serving father. But can we continue living by just serving? Like I do my job. Okay. Do that job, am I serving Lord Krishna, or am I serving the person for whom I am working, who has given me project? Sorry, I'm very complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I already answered it. I already answered it. When you're working, you are serving. Okay, so you're already doing service. The point is you can't stop serving anyway. It's who you choose to serve. That's within your power. You can choose who you want to serve. That's all. It's service you have to do.
Whom I choose to serve.
That's your choice. That's all. That's the only choice I've got. I can choose now who I can serve. Who am I going to serve in this room? All of you. That's my choice. I want to serve all of you. You know, like after we finish, so then we start serving lunch. I'm not going to say, okay, the guy got the right question, and this kid got the right answer, and like, you know, we're going to serve everyone equally, right? Everyone can take the food stuff, right? So that is equal service. Right? So that's my choice. Or I could say, okay, I'm only going to serve the men, or I'm going to say I can only serve the women, right? But that's material consciousness. Right? I want to serve the soul. Right? Everyone here is a soul, so we serve everyone.
That's good.
It's okay? Okay, 6 minutes, that's pretty good. Okay?
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Maybe I will perhaps just add a little bit to this, because there is one concept similar to this is Advaita Vedanta, in which like essentially you see there is no difference in people because soul or consciousness is sitting in everyone. So by serving one, you are serving the one. So there is no discrimination or difference.
Yeah, that is true and not true.
Yeah.
It's both. It's what you say is true, but it's also not true. Because you can say, well, I'm serving people. And by serving people, I'm serving God. In India, that's very common. People will say that. You serve man, you serve God. But that's not necessarily true. Right? You might have a sausage sizzle. Right? So it means you went to Bunnings, and they say all the time, they make sausage sizzles out the front of Bunnings, and they think they're doing a good charity. Oh, I'm serving, I'm looking after the people. Meanwhile, on the barbecue, it's all animals. They're not being served. Right? So that's not real service. And by selling that, you're implicated in bad karma. By eating it, you're implicated in bad karma. So where was the service? So you can say, well, I serve people, I serve God. That's not true. So that's why you require guru. Because a guru will tell you what is correct activity, what is incorrect activity. Otherwise, so you have to be very careful with that.
Coming to the question, like you might have spent a lot of time with reading Gita. Different religions have their own texts as well. Did you find few things conflicting which you couldn't make sense of in your personal reading? Did you find few things which were conflicting and you couldn't?
The essence is the same. The essence is the same. I was brought up in the West, in Australia, in Melbourne. I was born in Melbourne, I lived in Melbourne. So I had exposure to Christianity, which is the most prevalent religion in this part of the world. Right? And if you look at the essence of Christianity, it's exactly the same as the Bhagavad-gītā. If you get Lord Jesus, if you get Jesus, his teachings, Jesus Christ, the essence of all of his teachings just come down to two things. Like that. There's a lady there. Do you want to invite her in? I'm not sure if she knows. If you want to come in. So the essence is two things. Right? Love thy Lord with all thy heart and serve others as you would have them serve yourself. Right? So that's exactly the same as the Bhagavad-gītā. It's no different. So the essence of all great teachings of the world are exactly the same. The details may be different, but the essence is the same. That's the point. TK? Acha. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
If you can't find love throughout your lifetime, will your soul be tormented after you die?
If you can't find love,
If, to me, to find pure, true love would be happiness.
yeah. So what's the just further
If you can't find it throughout your life,
in this life?
love,
Yeah.
then you can't find happiness. And if you die unhappy, will your soul be tormented?
It's within our power to find love. It's within our power. It may feel like it's not within our power. But the reason we may not be experiencing love in this lifetime is because we're not looking in the right direction. Right? If you count on just the humans in this world, if you're thinking that's going to give you perfect love and happiness, you might as well give up now. You're not going to find perfect love and happiness in this world. It doesn't exist. Right? There's no pure, unmotivated relationship in this world. Right? You can get close to it. I have many relationships in my life which are close to it, but they're not 100% pure. You know, it's not perfect, and I'm not perfect myself. You know, I try to give love as unconditionally as I can, but I don't always do it perfectly. So therefore, it's within our power. We have to have the intelligence to understand who is the person who, if we love, will give us unconditional perfect love back.
Yeah.
And you could take a wild guess who that might be, or what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's probably the blue guy, like it always is. Every Sunday it's the same, it's the blue guys. You know, but you know, when push comes to shove, it's my experience. It's the only person who doesn't let me down. And then I could say, well, he is letting me down because I've got a sore knee, I've got a sore back, I have to go to the dentist, you know, I've got bills, you know, the tax department's after me. You know, what are you doing about it? You know, you didn't get up this morning, or what's it? You know, we blame him for everything. But in the Bhagavad-gītā, he doesn't give any guarantee he's going to make everything in this world perfect. He never says that. Actually, if we're a little intelligent, when those tests come, we see that is him, making us become detached from this world so we can become more attached to him. So we don't see it as a negative. If something negative happens in our life, we see actually that's a positive thing. Because that's detaching me from this world which is temporary and false, and making me attached to something superior. So the only reason we're not experiencing that love is because we're not reposing it to the right person. When you do, you'll feel satisfied. I can honestly say I feel satisfied. I don't feel unloved because I know there's someone who is looking after me. And there's many people in this world connected to him who give me also that satisfaction and that love. So the answer is no, you won't be tormented. If you made the right decisions in this life. If you made the wrong decisions, then that's your destiny. Because you made the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
So it's a choice. It's within our power. People always argue, oh, I'm powerless, or this is happening to me, or I'm the victim, but that's not true.
No. You
Yeah.
have choices, yes.
Yeah, we all have choices. And even in the most difficult circumstances. I mean, we think our lives have got problems. You know? We can take each other, you've travelled, I've travelled, we can take each other to places where people have got problems.
Oh, yes.
We don't have problems.
No, not compared to that. No.
Yeah, like I've been to Zambia, Tanzania,
Yeah.
Kenya, you know, there's no problems here.
No.
You know, we always say first world problems. Like, what's our problem? Oh, the internet's slow. Oh. I saw one comedian, he was on some television show in America. Very funny guy, I can't remember which one it was, but very funny guy. So he said he's in a plane, 36,000 feet, you know, flying through the air. There's some kid next to him, 16-year-old kid, you know, doing his thing on his device. Oh, internet's slow. You had to wait half a second. Right? So he turns to the kid. He says, do you understand what we're doing right now? We're floating through space, through the air. 36,000 feet, breathing oxygen, sitting in a comfortable seat, ordering food, with internet which is bouncing to a satellite which is 7,000 miles away and bouncing back within half a second, and your comment is, oh, it's slow?
The fact that the satellite is tracking his movements at over 1,000 kilometres per hour is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, meanwhile they're flying over Africa with his kids on the ground who've got problems.
Yeah.
And that's that kid's problem.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a disconnected society at this point in time. So we have to make a choice. Individually, we have to make a choice. Are you going to follow mainstream? All right? Or are you going to be a rebel? You know, I'm a rebel. You know, I was 19, I just said, see you later. You know, shaved my head, put on robes, moved into an ashram. So I'm not going to be a part of mainstream society because it's going into, you know, God knows where this all ends up. You know, they've got no idea. So, you know, either you can follow blind leaders, which means you're blind, or you can make a choice to follow someone who's got some vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my choice was I followed Prabhupada, you know, who was the founder of our movement, who in my mind, after studying his life and teachings scrutinizingly, you know, is one of the most realized people I've ever come across. You know, I would put him on the level of Jesus himself. You know, difference is Jesus 2,000 years ago and the teachings are quite obscured. This person lived in my lifetime and the teachings are unobscured. Yeah, he left the world in 1977, so, you know, with his guidance, I can make the right decisions in life and I feel complete and whole. You know, materially I'm not rich. You know, I'm comfortable, I have everything I need, but I'm not rich. You know, I don't aspire to be either. You know, but within myself I feel very complete and whole. So I feel loved in this lifetime and then I'm not worried about, you know, suffering. So it's within our power. Oh, that's, anything else you want to add? Or?
So the choices that we make bring on different types of karma. Yes.
Yeah. You got to make the right choices. Yeah, I know we keep serving the same food every day, but you got to change. Because sometimes you say, oh, not again. It's like that.
I have nothing else to do.
Yeah. Whatever it is, right? But the point is, if you do eat meat, you have to take the karma.
Yeah.
You have to take. It's divided into 6 parts. The person who kills the animal, the person who transports, the person who sells it, the person who buys it, the person who cooks it, the person who eats it, they get a 1/6 each. It's heavy stuff, it's murder. It is murder. You know, if you killed a human being, you would be tracked by authorities.
Oh,
They would find you and they would, incarcerate you. And it's our hope that the same thing happens to the animals on this planet. That if they're harmed or slaughtered, it'll be the same punishment as what the human beings get. It says in the Bible, he who slayeth a ox is as if he who slayeth a man. It says that.
The only context that happens in nowadays is poachers in Africa are being shot by rangers. So they're getting the human treatment there, but that's about all.
That's fair enough. You're going to go out and shoot, wild animals for sport. Another comedian I saw was very funny. Jim Jeffries is an Australian comedian.
Yeah, he's no.
Yeah, so he was very funny. Right? But he's quite astute in some of his observations. You go out and shoot like lions, and you're a hero. Right? But if you shoot a cat, right, then everyone will say, "Oh, he shot a cat. He's a cruel human being." Like, well, what's the difference? But he elaborated on a much more, in a very funny way, and elaborated on it. But it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think now the Sea Shepherd and the boats which go out in the ocean to stop the whaling and that, I think now they're vegan, vegetarian, I think. But in the past they weren't. Everyone's around saving whales, driving ships around, and they're all eating chicken on board. It's like, the chicken's a chicken and whale's a whale. They're both part of God's creation.
Yeah.
Who gave you permission to eat either?
Yeah.
Fine, if you want to eat meat, that's fine, but you get a certificate from the blue boy himself, saying, this guy can eat meat, and we'll say, no problem. But until you come with that, we're going to keep giving you dal and rice. I'm not just saying you, but I'm just saying generically across the planet, like that. So, some things we're allowed to do. And it's the same thing, we all have a choice. I can get out now and drive to McDonald's and have a Big Mac. That's my choice. Nothing's stopping me. But for 30 years I haven't done that. Right? Or you can go to Brave Restaurant, which is just down the road, which is the 47th most popular restaurant on the planet. It's ranked number 47 internationally in terms of, but they're just serving meat.
Yeah.
I know the guy who runs the restaurant. Right, just serving meat. And when I speak to him, because I go down there sometimes to talk about gardening and things like that, and he'll say, we source it all within 150 kilometres and it's all free from hormones. The animal's dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter if it's a cow that doesn't have hormones or a cow that does. They're both dead. It's wrong. So I have to speak like this. I'm sorry it's abrasive, but if I don't say it, no one else does. So we have to be a little, because the government should be saying this. What's the name of the guy who runs this country? Malcolm Turnbull. Yeah, Malcolm Turnbull. He should be saying it. You got some Hari, like on a Sunday afternoon saying it should be Malcolm Turnbull. Tomorrow we're closing all the slaughterhouses in Australia. Everyone will be vegetarian, vegan. That's leadership. Everyone will go, oh, you can't do that. Yeah, you can do that.
Is that dictatorship?
What's that?
Is that leadership or dictatorship?
It's leadership. It's leadership. Because, okay, we'll say you can eat meat, but you have to kill the animal yourself. So that's leadership. You want to eat meat, but you do it. You get the karma straight. Look into his eye or her eye, and you do it.
I have done, but
Yeah. So anyway,
I worked on a farm, so
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying it's a leadership. It's not dictatorship. Dictatorship is when you start controlling. We're not controlling. We're just saying, broadly speaking, this is what we'll do.
Yeah.
You want to go off and do your own thing in the forest or whatever, you do that. But that's all. But there has to be accountability. That's leadership. Just like, I was at a meeting recently, I was telling everyone, they're saying about banning plastic. They're banning plastic all in this area, which we support, because it harms the environment, which we support. We don't use plastic here as much as possible, which we support. But then the same people I have in the meeting, when I suggested about being vegetarian, they're all like, oh, you can't do that. That's too radical. It's not radical. That's harming the earth as much as plastic is. If you look at what that industry does and how much it pollutes the world. Like off the Gulf of Mexico now, where you live, coming out of Texas. Texas is one of the biggest cow slaughtering states on the planet, right?
Yes.
They're famous for beef. Texans, right? Texas, we're the cowboys, we are. So, they're killing like that. The Gulf of Mexico now, where they're killing so many animals and so much of the blood and the refuse from the meat industry is going into the ocean now. There's whole places where the fish can't live anymore. It's too polluted.
Yeah.
You can't find fish there anymore. And all the plankton and everything's disappearing.
Yeah.
Scientifically proven. So the meat industry and the plastic industry are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So, sorry I have to be so... But if we don't say it, no one else will do it. Any other questions? Yes, madam.
You spoke earlier about destiny and choice, so slightly different tack. It's a chicken and egg situation, forgive the pun, but what came first? Are your choices determining your destiny, or it's all predestined and you're just following someone's plan for you?
Yeah, this question has been asked for thousands of years. It's a very old question, destiny and free will, like that. And it's been commented upon by many people over the years. So we'll give you Krishna's opinion, as he is the one who started the whole thing in motion. It's both. It's just both, that's all. So your destiny, that's coming from your previous life. So in our previous life, we performed so many activities, that's called karma. And then in this life, all of that karma comes with you. That's destiny, right? So I'm destined in this life that I will, like I had a car accident about 9 years ago, right? I got a heavy knock on the head, concussion, which I live with now, right? That's why I'm a little bit...
Here, is that what's wrong with you?
Sorry. Most people just think I'm strange, but it's actually, I've got a medical reason why I'm like this. Okay? It's beyond my control. So, yeah, so that was my destiny, right? That's from my previous lifetime, right? Because I probably, walked down the road or something, hit someone on the head, and then, Krishna said, that's not very good. So in your next lifetime, I was just driving down the road and I had an accident, and bang, I got a knock on my head. Right? That's destiny. But then free will is how I respond to what took place. Right? Or another example is just like I was in Melbourne, it was a while ago now, maybe 20 years ago now or something. So I was in Melbourne in a car park, and it was opposite in Swanston Street, and the car park's not there now, they've got a council building there, but small car park. So I'm just waiting there, and then one car pulled out, and I was about to pull in. I'd been waiting for 5 minutes or something, and then another guy just like pulled in.
Annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying for anyone. So that was my destiny, that someone pulled in. But how do I respond to it? Right? I could have got out and, because he got out and I could see he was ready. He got out and I was like, like that. So, I could have got out of the car and said, yeah, and then he would have fired up and then would have been a whole thing. So I just wound the window down and I said, excuse me, I was waiting for that car park. And he goes, oh, okay. And he got in the car and pulled out and let me go in. Right? So that's free will, right? Destiny is what happens, free will is how you respond. So that's our choice.
You got the singular minority percent of person that said okay.
I was having a good day. I did some
Krishna was with you,
I was doing some chanting in the morning, and it all came together, and then I said, Krishna, I need you now. I need that car park now. He gave me the car park, Jason. It was a beautiful day. So yeah. But that's how we respond to things. So that's the answer. The answer is both. Because some people say everything is free will, right? Which it is to a degree, but there's also destiny. You can have free will. You say, okay, my free will, I can just have a good life from now on. Totally happy, everything will just come to me. I'll just be rich and I'll be successful and happy and all that. It's my free will. I say that. Is it going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. Because that's destiny. What you'll come up from your previous life, what will you get? That is predestined to a degree. When you're born, how rich you'll be, how intelligent you'll be, all those things, that's all predestined. That comes with you. How you respond to the circumstances, that's your free will. And that will create your future. Anything you want to add? Or?
That's very well put. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Any other question?
When is the world going to end?
Okay, light subject matters direct. When is the world going to end? What day is it? March the 11th? Yeah, I think, well, last time I read it was March 13th or something. Tuesday, I think.
Do you think the world will end the way we are, behaving or treating like
What do you mean by end?
We're not looking after the world.
Yeah.
But what do you mean by end? Like total extinction of the human race? Is that what you mean by end? Will that happen?
Is that
That doesn't take place. There's no total extinction of the human race. This age we're in the ancient texts is called the age of Kali. Kali Yuga, which you probably know because you're from India, so you probably heard these terms, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga lasts for 432,000 years, and it began 5,000 years ago, so you have another 427,000 years to go. And it doesn't describe that the human race becomes extinct, so that doesn't happen. If that's what you mean by does the world end, the world doesn't end, it always keeps going. How does it keep going? It doesn't get pretty. It describes that it doesn't end up very pretty. It says there's no rain in about 20,000 years from now. So after 20,000, there's no rain anymore, it doesn't rain anymore. It says you can't see the sun anymore. And it says there's no trees on the earth anymore. It says that. So that's 20,000 years from now. It says the Ganges, you know the Ganges? Mm-hmm. Ganges is a big river, right? It says that's dried up in 20,000 years. It's not there anymore. Humans still survive. I don't know how they survive. I'm not planning to be around.
Desalination units.
Decel units, yeah. That's probably how they do it. They're just living on decel or whatever. But yeah, I'm not planning to be around.
Do you think like the way society has been organized, what are there some like fundamentally wrong things, like few things which can be fixed? My personal view actually is that the way we do the economics is a lot of reason for the pain, like everything is driven by economics.
Yeah, everything's mixed up. The whole world's mixed up. Okay, if I became the leader of society tomorrow, right? Probably I have to think about it. I'll think about it tonight before I go to sleep. But probably one thing I would seriously consider would be taking money out of society. Save money up, right? And then we just all swap and trade and like that. You need a house, come over, we'll all build a house together. Right? You need something to eat, whoever's got food, we swap that. And then get rid of the things we don't need, right? And then use the things that we actually need, and then we can live like that. That's a village, right? The Amish do that to an extent. It's a good way to live. I don't like, or not that I don't like, but I probably wouldn't dress the way they dress. Just out of personal choice. I feel more comfortable like this. But the way they live, not everything, but a lot of the things I think it's pretty, have you seen that movie? What was it called? The Amish? Not the Amish movie, but Harrison Ford. Yeah, Witness. Yeah. So you saw the Amish community like that. So they had to build a barn. So they all came in, they built it in a day. Everyone just came together, let's build a barn, whack. It's all done, and then that's it. I would like to live like that. The way we live now, we live here in Hare Krishna Valley, there's about 6 of us, we worked off our feet, we've got 200 acres. I'd rather live in a situation where, we could just call upon a whole lot of people, like everyone in this room, we all come down.
Families to live together.
What's that?
Families to live together, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, families and friends and
Yes,
society.
I love that.
Villages, yeah. You'd love that, I'd love that. I could see you every
To
day.
live together. I told that to my daughter-in-law, and oh my God.
The world's a bit different now. But that's how it was. And in India, it's still like that to a great extent. Like extended families. I know families in India, they've probably got 12 or 14 people living in an area that's probably as big as this room. And they're happy as Larry. Right? You did that with a bunch of Australians, they'd be...
We can't do it.
All the kids would be in the corner going like, Yeah, send you a text.
Slow internet.
What's for dinner? It's like, it's a different life. Yeah, that's how I prefer it. So yeah, we've got it wrong. basically. We think we're evolving, we're actually devolving. Society's devolving. And what's the measure is because people aren't as happy. So, any other questions? Or? Yes, sir.
What's after Kali Yuga?
What's after Kali Yuga? Satya Yuga begins again. The golden age begins.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Someone else put that? Yes.
I met a tribe in Papua New Guinea in the Highlands, and they didn't have bugger all, and they were the happiest people I've ever met.
Mm.
They'd never seen a television or they'd seen one or two cameras maybe.
Mm.
They'd never seen a cell phone before.
Mm.
Things like this,
Mm.
and they had all they needed from the forest.
Mm.
Their food and their water and their clothing and little clothing that they did wear.
Mm.
I just wonder why we can't be as happy as them with all of the things that we have.
Mm. Yeah.
You don't get happiness from things then.
Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, I don't know if everyone knows this, but I know this is going to be a big revelation for everyone, but I have to say it, like, cell phones don't give you happiness. What? I'm just letting you know. I mean, I wish I didn't have this, but I have to have it because, if I don't, then I can't connect, People will ring me today, oh, we want to come, they
What I'm trying to say is why aren't we more satisfied? Why do we stress out about things so much if we've got everything in our hands?
We just want more and more and more things, don't we?
Yeah, we want more
Just
things.
Complete consuming virus of the planet.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because happiness comes from one thing. Right? Real happiness only comes from one thing. It comes from relationships. Right? We would say primarily the relationship with Krishna.
Yeah.
Right? If you got that plugged in, right, then everything else, all the other relationships, they work and they're happy. We've got all these lovely people here today. These relationships. This is what makes life worthwhile. Otherwise it becomes very superficial and very mundane and very dissatisfying. So the further you move away from relationships, the less satisfied you're going to be. And then if you've got relationships, life can be falling apart, but you feel it's okay.
Yeah, but I was in a relationship for 10 years and I wasn't satisfied and I wasn't happy.
I've told you 30 times. You go.
No, I'm happy.
Yeah. Come back next month. I'll say the same thing. Because that's my realization. Am I happy as a person? Yes, I am happy as a person. Do I feel complete? Yes, I do feel complete. Do I feel like I've got the answer of life, the purpose of life? Yes, I do. Right? Do I feel connected to Him? Yes, I do. If I keep saying it, I go, it's personal choice. It works for me. I can only control my life. I can't control anyone else's life on this planet.
Yeah.
I can control my life, and that's what I'm doing. Right? And it's challenging because life throws so many things at you, but I stay on course. So many things get thrown, I'm locked in. That's what it is. The tests come, but I'm not going to budge from from my destination. So everyone's got to make their own choice. I'm just a guide. I'm just here to give you good advice. Everyone's got to fly their own plane. Prabhupada taught us that. He was our guru, but he said that. He told us all that. You have to fly your own plane. I'm just in the control tower.
Yeah.
Land now. Land now. Otherwise, you're gonna,
Yeah.
He's just giving advice. That's all he did. He just came to give us advice. But you were going to make the choices. So, any other questions? Or? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
In all this belief, is there any reason for doubt?
What's it?
Is there any all these things, is it just subjected to belief, or is there any proof to these things?
Proof is it's not empirical. I can't prove to you. You say to me, show me Krishna. How am I going to show you Krishna? Empirically, you can't see. You don't have the eyes to see Him. With material things, you can't perceive spirit. Right? So it has to come from the soul who we actually are. The proof is in the soul. When we do the chanting, just like before we were all chanting, these are the names of God, names of Krishna. When we're chanting, we feel blissful. That's proof. That's proof.
But then someone, let's say, smoking marijuana might feel good as well. But
So you make a choice. I don't care what you do. Go and smoke
they might
marijuana.
they might feel good.
No, that's not the point. The point is you make your choice. It's all. Otherwise, it's just all hypothetical, right? I chant Hare Krishna. I don't smoke marijuana. I've never smoked marijuana, but I can right now if I want to. Yeah, I'm not saying you do. Like that. We won't check your car afterwards. But I'm just saying. Right? It's your choice. You want to smoke marijuana, you smoke marijuana. I personally chant Hare Krishna. That's how I stay high. By chanting. I chant for 2 hours every day in meditation. Right?
Well, yeah, but my discussion was around like if it's just a matter of, let's say, feeling good, it doesn't have to be you or me, but if person X is smoking and he might feel blissful in that.
So that's his choice.
Is that a proof of,
That's his experience, because marijuana does something for you. That's why people do it. So that's his experience, right? But there's gradations of experience, right? It's like eating mashed potato or eating halava. Now, halava is the Hare Krishna dessert that everyone knows what it is?
Yes.
Okay, so mashed potato or halava. Okay, hands up if you like mashed potato more. Hands up if you like halava more. Okay, so it's 100%. Right? They like halava. Well, think anything, sweets, something, something you like. So obviously you're going to take that, there's levels. Right? Right? So like, you make your choice. Right? Marijuana will give you one thing. Right? And then cocaine will give you another thing. And then heroin will give you another thing. And whatever, I don't know what the gradation is, whatever it is. I never take drugs. Right? But then Hare Krishna is like, it's like another level. So it's up to you. You choose whatever you want. Makes no difference to my life what you choose, but that's what I choose this. And if you show me something better than chanting Hare Krishna, I'll start doing that. So I'll just take. I want to live my life to the fullest, so I want to get the best experience. So I'm going to take the best experiences about it. It's the best thing I've found. That's why I do it. If you show me something better, I'll go and do that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of progress in the area of, let's say, science and technology has happened because they try to do some objective proofing, right? Like if in a controlled setup they can show things that it holds true. While in spirituality, it is a lot harder to do.
Because it's based on the individual, and it's based on something which is metaphysical, something you can't measure with sensory perception. I was actually watching a discussion last night between Richard Hawkins, you know him?
Yeah.
Famous scientist, one of the most famous scientists on the planet, and Deepak Chopra, you know him?
Yes.
He's also very famous. And Hawkins was questioning Deepak about the scientific proof of spirituality. It was interesting, they were having a conversation. You can't measure one with the other. That's the point. They can only be measured by you in here. It can be measured by, like I can see, if I look at people, the face is the index of the mind. So I can look at everyone in this room, I can see to a degree where people are at according to what's going on in their consciousness. Right? But only to a degree. So if you see people who are happy, right, then naturally you gravitate towards them. That's why we hang out with the people we hang out with. The reason I hang out with the Hare Krishna people, because they're the happiest people I've met on the planet. If I find a more happy group of people, I'll go and hang out with them. There's a tribe up in Papua New Guinea who are more happy than the Hare Krishnas. I'll go and grab a spear and I'll put on my loincloth and I'll run off into the jungle.
What if you get an invite from Marijuana community? You haven't been there, so you don't know.
Yeah, so it's up to you. It's up to you. It's all hypothetical, that's the point. It's hypothetical. You can go on and on and on. It's hypothetical.
Exactly.
So the point is just make the choices. Make your choice. It's your life, you make your choice. I've chosen this. Do I think it's the best way to live? Yes, I do. Do I think it's the most complete answers to the answers of life? Yes, I do. Right? Am I presenting that to everyone? Yes, I am. What they do with it, that's up to them. Makes no difference to my life whatsoever, any way, shape or form. If the whole world became Hare Krishnas, it'd be easy for me, because then wherever I go I get something to eat. So like, I don't care. For me it's advantageous, right? And it means I can connect to everyone and all the rest. But I know that's not going to happen, right? Because everyone's got their choices. But if it did happen, the world would be a more peaceful, it would be a more cooperative, more productive, it would be a better place. Right? All we can do is try to influence society. That's all we can do. That's what we're doing. That's why we invite people here. Come here, see how we live, see what we do. If you want to practice something, that's cool.
Maybe I'll ask one more question.
One more.
A little more.
I swear to God, one more. I know what Indian people are like. They say one more and then it's like... Okay, one more.
So, like, you studied Gita, and I think you stand for ahimsa, right? Non-killing. You strongly stand for it. But in the very first chapter itself, Lord Krishna is advising Arjuna that kill mostly all of your relatives who are standing against you in the fight. Do you find that kind of conflicting and contradictory?
I don't. Because I don't find it contradictory, because I understand why Krishna said that.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah.
Why you don't find it?
Yeah, it's not contradictory, because if you know the history, Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gītā, he says, fight the battle. Right? And then he convinces Arjuna to fight, and then they fight a battle, and many people are killed. Right? Why did he do that? You have to understand it within context. Bhagavad-gītā is one chapter in the Mahabharata. If you look at the Mahabharata, Krishna tried to stop the war for years. Right? It was between cousins, and it was heading towards a war, fratricidal war, and Krishna tried to stop it personally. God himself came and said, let's just settle all of this, divide everything up, and then like that. Because Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra and his party would not, at the end, because they were ruling the earth, but they were not ruling in a dharmic way. In other words, they were not ruling properly or not teaching people how to live peacefully and spiritually. They were exploitive. So Krishna said, we have no other opportunity now, we have to remove them to create a nice government. Like if we had the power... What's that?
Like the Donald Trump of Kali Yuga.
Yeah, so okay, you've got someone like Donald Trump now, right? Most of us in this room, hands up if you'd like to see him removed. Okay, most people. Okay, most people. Hands up if you'd like to keep him. 1, 2, okay. Hands up if you really don't care. Okay, so most of the majority say they want to remove him, right? So we've got no way of removing. Like I can, say, okay, let's go, guys. We'll buy tickets to Washington. We all go to Washington. We'll get there. Start marching up. So he, not even him. Some guy's just going to call their army to say, get rid of these guys. Yeah, it's all done. Like, we've got no hope of removing him that way. If I had the power and an army strong enough, I would remove him. I'd march up to the Capitol and say, Donald, us, 3 million of us or whatever there, you have to step aside now. Right? So violence is always the last resort. It's always the last resort. Right? Because we're not violent people. Right? If people come here, we're very peaceful and we protect everyone. But if someone comes and they start harming our guests who are here now, you'll see a different side of me. Right? So that's not wrong. If I just sit back and go, it's all beautiful and, that's just destiny and it's like that. No. If someone starts harming someone here, then we'll deal with them appropriately. And that's not wrong. That's correct use of violence. But violence is always the last resort, that's all. Is it okay? Okay. Any more questions or?
I already said last.
Okay. We had a deal. Okay. Is anyone hungry? Okay, very nice. If you want, we have this magazine that's for free. If you want a copy of the magazine, I'll just leave it here. You can come and take it. It tells all about what the Hare Krishna movement does all around the world. It's interesting, so if you want to take a copy of that. Thank you all for coming. See you again. Hare Krishna. Please come. Just go out, turn right, and then we'll feed you to your heart's content.